flowers on the lower side of the branches. It's like it's preparing for the fruit, so that the fruit can hang and develop. So the flowers are always on the branches, which is called cauliflorous, because it's like a cauliflower, it comes out, and the branch is strong enough to hold the weight. If the flower is at the end of the branch, then the weight of the fruit would destroy it. So they grow on the branch itself.
How old is this tree?
How old? This tree was here before we came here. So it's probably 50 years old. We've got some that are a century old. What I want to show you. Okay, this area, apart from the few durian trees that are still here, I cleared of rambutan trees in 2011, so that's 14 years ago, because I had a collection of Saba species given to me by a friend at Frim. They had been over to collect species for their collection, and they had extras. They'd collected seeds, they'd propagated them, and he gave me a lot of their seedlings, because if you're doing ex situ conservation, which is conserving species outside their habitat, you need a place to plant them. So it's one thing for Frim to collect all the seeds and to generate new plants, but you've got to find somewhere for them to mature and grow. So I get a lot of seedlings from Frim and also from the Singapore Botanic Gardens, who are also looking for space where they can grow extra trees. So this is a Shoria guizou, which is a dipterocarp, one of the forest giants. It was planted in 2011. When you look up to that and see, that's a pretty rapid rate of growth. This is probably 25 meters tall, if not 30, and just in the process of 14 years it's grown that fast. But you can see the structure, the architecture of the tree grows straight up, monopodal. It only has one trunk. It's not like an apple tree you see in picture books, where you've got a trunk and a branch and a boy sitting on the branch. If a boy sat on this branch, he'd be very high up. It would be very scary. Rambutan, I'll show you some later. We all like things we can eat. These you cannot eat. But the tree grows very tall, and it has branches, lateral branches. It doesn't fork until it reaches the canopy.
That's a
when
monkey.
It reaches clean air and it's not competing with any other trees, then it will branch, but not yet. So the lower branch you can see there, it will be the next one to die, because the leaves are overshadowed by the higher branches, and that means the photosynthesis of the leaves that are in shade is not as effective. So gradually the leaves drop off and the branch dies, and then it falls off. So the branch behind you there, that's fallen off. We just toss them to the side. But it can be quite dangerous. So we have a rule: if it's windy, you do not go out in the garden, because during the wind, if you've got gusts of wind, then you have things dropping and it's enough to kill you.
That's a monkey.
But it's quite safe at the moment.
Monkey.
Monkey? Is there a monkey up
Yeah.
there? Yes, there is.
He's looking at us. It's on a branch.
We have a Shoria guizo, but the Malay name I'm not quite sure. And I can't read the batu merah. Something batu merah.
Salungan batu merah.
Selongan or Selangan possibly. Selangan batu merah is the local name.
Ooh, wow.
So this is the way we've documented it, because these coils will stretch as the tree grows, and it doesn't create any stress for the tree. If you tie something more permanent, it will cut into the bark as the tree grows, and that is an impediment for the health of the tree. So I used to put labels on them, but the monkeys always came to, they see something shiny and, oh wow, what's that? They know, this is why they've grown to know that anything shiny might have food in it, like plastic packets. So they investigate and they try and pull it off, and it ends up getting wrecked. So this has a tag, 1892. They're not sequential and they don't show any total, but it's a reference number. So there are 3 trees here the same, 1, 2, 3, but this one is doing much better than the others, and that's usual. That although genetically they're from the same batch, there will be a difference, and some will do better than others. So I try to plant in groups of 3 or 5 if I can.
Hi, monkey.
So that at least you will probably lose at least 1 or 2, maybe 3. So this large leafed one here, I had 5 of them. No, I had 3 of these. The other ones up there, I lost 2 and I only had 1, but fortunately I then got another one from a different source. So you've always got to be prepared for losing trees. We had a storm last year in February and we lost 50 trees.
Oh no.
It was one of these freak cyclones that just swept through. It started at the back, it came down here along the front fence. And of course one tree falls, it falls into another tree, that falls into another tree, and it cascades all the way down. I've practiced fairly dense planting, so usually 3-4 meters between each tree, sometimes less, and the trees are okay with that. They're accustomed to very dense competition. That cat's going to live a short life. Anyway, so this is Shoria guizo, and it's quite an amazing thing to see that it's grown so fast in such a short time. Let us continue. So that's a branch that's fallen off. This is probably fallen off. You feel how heavy that is? And if that fell on you, you'd be dead. It's not, not a good idea.
Do you plant in odd numbers?
Generally, yes.
Why?
Do you know why?
Oh.
I think aesthetically, it's more interesting to have a combination of 1, 2, 3 rather than just 1 and 2. 1, if you've only got 1, you put it in. But 2 is an awkward number because it looks too straight if you put them together. 3 is a better combination. 5 is even better, so you do a zigzag.
Okay.
So generally, yes, tends to be uneven numbers. So the landscape design is based on the idea of encouraging people to walk through and to explore the space. So you've got to have openings. You can't have it so densely planted. I'm trying to create shields to protect the view so that we don't see the traffic. You can still see the traffic going past. So that when you're in a space, it gives you the feeling that you're in nature. But this is a very contrived form of nature. But ultimately, I'm hoping that it will be successful. So you walk through, you follow pathways, you come to areas where there are low trees that block the view. That behind you is a Malaysian endemic, Hangguan, something Malayana. If the name is Malayana, the chances are it's endemic, which only occurs in the peninsula. So each country, so if you find something Javanica, it's probably endemic to Java, and not endemic means not found anywhere else. So we wanted water. Why did I stop here? Yes, landscape design. You walk through, you see different areas, and you have a sense of a progression from one place to another. These are Dipterocarpus again, Dipterocarpus rather than Shoria, but they're growing very tall too. Same structure, straight up, branches that then drop off, and palms are very good for blocking the view. The pond, I've filled it with a thing called Hangguana Malayana. Again, Malayana, endemic just to the peninsula. We lost a lot of trees here during the storm. So in a way, it gives an opportunity to plant new stuff. It was devastating at the time. You lose over 30 trees, 40 trees, and you've just got to get over it. So, but it was a, yes.
This palm tree, is it endemic Malaya?
This is Veracedendron leucodendron, and it is, I don't think it's endemic. I think it's Southeast Asian generally.
Okay.
But this is my third tree. I've tried them before and 2 died, but now I think it's in a more protected position. I've got some new palms there. That's Arenga undulatifolia, which if you've been to Rimba Ilmu, they have some beauties there.
That's right.
That's only just been planted. But that will help to block the view from the swimming pool across to the front gate.
Okay.
So I'm trying to create private spaces so that if you're using the pool, you don't feel as if
How
you're
tall
on the
is that?
shore. The Arenga is only about 1.5 meters now, but it will get very bushy. It doesn't have a trunk. This has a trunk, that no trunk, and it's just all bushy.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
You were saying that like Prim and the pathetic farm
in Singapore.
they give you like seedlings to grow. So what about like things that are not foreign to the land? Because I remember my auntie, she took some plant back to Malawi and everything, her garden died. Things that you are not so.
Well, you take things to a different place and you've got to make sure that the habitat is suitable if you want them to grow. Singapore and Frim, they're just round the corner. They have the same climate, and it's part of the same biogeographic area. So they have things, whatever Singapore has, we have also. And they're trying to reintroduce a lot of species and plant in gardens, on roadsides. They've planted thousands and thousands of trees. And when you go to, I hadn't been to Singapore for decades. You go down there and all these trees everywhere. It's incredible. Really impressive. Any Singaporeans here? Yes. Well, you've done a fantastic job. And Botanic Gardens and Fort Canning Park. It's gorgeous. I love it. And they're mostly indigenous trees, or certainly tropical trees. So if they're from the tropical belt, they'll do fine.
And did you expect anything from you for planting all these seedlings? You said they needed space to plant all this.
They're happy for me just to plant them, so that then there is a representative tree in our collection. So my list of trees, my list of species is on the IUCN website, not IUCN, the Botanical Gardens International website, where they keep a register of all the arboreta and all the species. So occasionally I get an email from someone who's doing research. Do you have this particular species? We are looking to fill a database gap trying to check who has what and are all the species protected within botanic gardens. So if there's a gap and they don't have a particular species, they will make an effort to get it. And then it might be offered to me. That's never happened, but it could happen. So I can get different species and I know, okay, this is the only one in a botanic garden anywhere in the world. Look after it. Hopefully they give me 3 if I ever get any. So we'll continue walking.
If something is endemic to Malaysia,
Yep.
can you take it and also grow in Indonesia?
Well, you can, yes. It's just that evolution-wise, it has never moved beyond the valley where it grew. We've got a species from Petronas University somewhere up on the Dindings. It's a Vatica, a dipterocarp, and the site was completely cleared. Every tree was removed. But Frim, fortunately, went, even if it's not fruiting, you can dig up young seedlings. And they brought out as much as they could. I've got 10 of those trees at the back. So endemic means locally it is only found naturally here. But the reason I've stopped here, this is a fig tree. I would love to collect fig trees, but they're very hard to find. For some reason, Sabah and Sarawak have many, and they have a nursery that grows them, but I can't import from Sabah. I need an export permit for Sabah and Sarawak and an import permit for Malaysia, even though it's the same country, which is very difficult. But figs are what they call cornerstone species or keystone species in the forest because they provide food pretty much year round. This does have some fruit on it at any time, but there's always a fig fruiting in the forest somewhere, different species. So the birds like it very much.
There's no very small fruit there. Here.
Yeah.
Here.
Here's some fruit. There's one here. So even though it's not covered in fruit, but when it is covered in fruit, you know, because the starlings come, they're there every day for a month. And it's good for the plant too because they drop their droppings and it fertilizes the tree. It's like a crown, isn't it? So figs are great, but I don't have that many of them. They do take up a lot of space. There's another one of these same species just beyond those trees there. This is Ficus maclelandii.
Beautiful tree.
This is a little bit hard to play football because it's all bumpy. We could turn it into a football field. But the reason I kept this space is because this is the oldest tree on site. This is a durian tree that's been struck many times by lightning, and we thought of death's door on many occasions, but it has survived, and it's at least 100 years old,
Wow.
if not more. So that alone was reason to keep it, don't you think?
Still fruiting?
And also when you have lightning damage, you get cavities in the trees, which make very good nesting places. We used to have a lot of birds when we first came here, and the area was kampong. But it's not kampong anymore, we're urban fringe, and it's all of the land, most of the land around us has been developed in one way or another. So the birds are fewer and far between, but we still get migratory species coming through, and they feed, they rest, and then they continue on their journey. But as the oldest tree on site, I think it's a very venerable old tree. Bits and pieces are falling off, but this is a Vatica that was put in quite endangered. There are ranks of endangerment. No concern means that it's not endangered, but then you go through to critically endangered or extinct. So we do have some species that are extinct in the wild because they have not been found in the forest for decades. But at the same time, we don't have such a good system of monitoring our forests and checking areas where you might find particular species. But I think it's not critically endangered, but high up there on the list. Okay, hang on. This is where I lost a lot of trees in behind there, so it's a bit empty. And this old fella is flowering as well. This has fantastic fruit.
Angela, what do you do with the durian?
Oh, we eat it.
Do you have abundance to sell them?
No. We have a lot of people on site. There's 3 families here working for me in the durian season. All their relatives come. So it's not something we can. I have no desire to set up a durian school out on the roadside. We eat it. This has been in for about probably 2 years, but it's doing okay. That one is the same. 2 only, that's all I got. But that one is not doing so well. And this is part of the dilemma of gardening. You put things in, you think they'll do well, and they don't. Well, one does well and the other doesn't. It could be the plant itself, but that's why it's best to plant more than one. We have a pond which was excavated 35, 40 years ago, and the water level is extremely low. Usually it comes almost up to those seedlings there. They're riverine plants, so they like to be close to water. But we've had no rain, so the water level has dropped, and we usually have otters here. And like Singapore has lots of otters, we have otters as well, but here in this neighbourhood there's not really anywhere for them to go. They were here last 2-3 days ago, and we stocked the pond for the otters. So I bought Lampam Merah, I think 2 days ago, about 15 fish, but still so small you can't buy big fish, or if you can they're too expensive. But it's better than nothing for them to eat. So we have a family of 7 otters. They live underneath the balai next to the swimming pool. They've got a little cave there where the dogs can't get them. The dogs wouldn't want to get them actually, they're quite fierce. They have teeth that can crack a crab without any problem, and they can certainly crack a dog's leg as well, or nose. So this is an area where, because we had tree fall, then I've planted new species. The very tall trees over there are Shorea materialis, which is a critically endangered species, but it wasn't when I put them in 35 years ago. So you don't know when you're planting it. You think, if you've based your rationale on only critically endangered species, you'd miss an opportunity, because in another 10 years, the species might be critically endangered. You don't know. So that's a bank of 10 trees. It was a bit over the top at the time, but I couldn't find enough trees, enough species to plant. So I took 10, put them in, and I think 9 have survived. Palms, that's a very common palm, Liquala spinosa, which the Malays and Chinese use for wrapping food, either the glutinous rice packs or pulut, or normal rice, putupat, you can also make. So the idea is to have high shade. Once you've got high shade, the temperature at the bottom, at the ground level, is much cooler. If your shade level is here, the humidity buildup is too great and it's not comfortable. If you want a comfortable environment, you want tall trees, then medium-sized trees and smaller plants as well. So the pond is a bit disappointing, but what to do? We're waiting for the rain. And where's she now? Over there. So some trees are beginning to show new growth now, even though it has been so dry. Palms are always great, but then you put them, you don't, because your experience and people's knowledge of palms is fairly limited. This is a beautiful palm with a variegated leaf, but because they're now in deep shade, they're not showing themselves off as best they could be. The ones that are in sunlight, you see the colour and the pattern much more easily.
Yeah.
So, but you can't dig them up and replant them. You have to live with your mistakes. So, just be careful crossing here. Usually the water is up to here. And then there's you can see the pipe on the other side, that is for overflow. So the water level is supposed to stay the same. Do not walk on the plastic grate. That's this grating here because it's not so strong. It breaks and then you break. It will sharp. It's quite sharp on your legs.
You have your own resort. So
Yeah,
nice.
well, I think if I lived in KL, which I don't, thank God, you have big houses with a lot of money spent on the interiors.
Yeah.
We don't have interiors. I don't have chandeliers. I have space. But because we have a lot of people staying here, you need to have something for them to do when they're not working in their studios. So we've got the pool, we've got a tennis court, and that seems to fit the bill pretty much. And we intended this to be our final home, so you know we could afford it, so we did it rather than living. But it has its pros and cons. Now what was I? If you have brought a picnic lunch or anything, you're welcome to bring it down here. There are ceiling fans, there are switches on the walls, you can turn on the fans and sit there quite comfortably if you want to sit and have something to eat or drink. We've got more sculptures here. That is a piece by an Australian sculptor, unfortunately now covered in lichen. So it's lost its light, it's lost its luminescence, its translucence, which is a pity, but we can't very well. I left it too long to clean it.
Can you bring that me?
Of course you can, yes. Yeah, help yourself. This is Sentinel. If you are doing an exercise in rewilding, which many people do, particularly if you've got a bit of kampong land. The kampongs are now devastated by loss of population, so there's a lot of land in kampongs that's not utilised. If you want to rewild, fruit trees are essential, so leave the fruit trees. This is sentinel, which is
This one can eat one, yeah?
I can't. It's like a. It's too hard to open, but the monkeys can open it, and it's quite tasty. And it's good for making jam actually because it has a very high pectin content. And the monkeys sit up there and eat it. This is one of the few trees that is fruiting. I think it's less affected by the drought because it has deep roots that go down to the level of the pond. So it's not too bad, but don't fall over on. Yes, there we go.
The monkey open it.
So, ooh, something's biting me. Inside, it's a fairly fleshy seed, a bit like rambutan, and quite tasty. But monkeys have been eating it, so I don't recommend that you eat it.
Is it sweet?
Sorry?
Sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour, yes. It's not really that sweet.
Malay call what? Boston.
These things all the time.
Place name Sentinel.
Things for variety. Yes, trees are great. Tall trees are great. But in order to get a vista of different types of trees, you can use pandan, you can use palms at the back there. That palm is a special thing from the east coast, from coastal regions, called Oncosperma tigularium or Oncosperma horridum, I'm not sure which. And it's a clumping fern, that palm that just grows and grows. Ferns are also great for breaking up the ground level of a landscape. So the palm at the end there, underneath the pandans, is Johannes Tasmania, which is a beautiful palm the Orang Asli use for making roof shelters or walls, because they're large, they're durable, you cut them off and you use it like a building material. What else?
Miss Angela,
Any other questions so far?
is that pandan? When you mentioned pandan, is that pandan?
That is a type of pandan, but it's not the cooking pandan. There are many species. When you say pandan, it's the family of Pandanaceae. So, okay, let's do it. Is the oldest durian tree fruiting? Not all of them, not yet. They're not fruiting, they're flowering. So they flower and then 3 months later, 3 or 4 months later, you get the fruit. So it's seasonal. Over there on the horizon you can see those are century-old durian trees, and they are suffering too from the lack of rain. Fish! Just waiting for the otters.
So your water supply is coming from that lake.
We have a spring,
Oh, you have a spring.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's dried up too.
Really? Wow.
Because the water table has dropped
I see.
substantially, it hasn't been replenished. But normally we've got another stepping stone access just underneath the pandans, which is right at the roots there. You can walk across, and that's where the spring comes out. But it's been dry for months.
So usually after the rain, really.
After a month of rain, the water table comes up, and then you'll have spring water. So it works quite well. This is quite a. Can you feel the breeze here? No breeze outside. I have to give thanks to my husband for this. This is an architectural device. It's called, I think, the Venturi effect, where you block with a roof or a wall, where you have an opening, the speed of the air going through accelerates. So you get a breeze. So this is, even though you look outside, nothing is moving, but there is still air moving, and it makes this space much more comfortable.
It's not of gift that enjoy it.
No, it's not because of that. It's because the roof blocks the wind. If you stand there, it'll be the same. This might funnel it a little bit, but it's something that
This one creates-
architects can find solutions for living in the tropics. Originally we had no air conditioning, but we had to temper that. Our office is air conditioned, and that's where the artists go for Wi-Fi. They don't have Wi-Fi in their rooms or their studios, but they can do research or whatever in the office. That's air conditioned. My office, which is on the top floor, is also air conditioned, and the gallery downstairs is air conditioned. So the gallery is open. This access is the staircase there. So when you're free later, you can go down there and see. It's a collection of works that supposedly relate to wetland habitat and sculptures there as well. Because we had World Otter Day here last month, so we had to have something hanging that was sort of relevant. What I want to show you now is the herb garden, which is a collection of plants that are regionally used for cooking, medicine, or fragrance, or have some cultural value. Not all of them have uses, but they have cultural value, like used for bumerampai or for different things, perfume. So the entrance is here. We'll stand in the shade where we can. Stand in the shade first, and I'll give a bit of a description. This is about 1/2 acre of land, and it's immediately adjacent to our house. I have spent hours here in the last 2 months watering, yes, and my daughter too, to keep it alive, because many of these are herbaceous plants. They're not trees, so they need to have water supply because they're adapted for tropical conditions. So the idea of having the pinang trees at the front entrance is like to represent, from plant point of view, the tapak sirih. So when you have people come into your home, you welcome them with the tapak sirih. So silakan masuk. Now we've got ground orchids here, gingers. The banana there is not a fruiting, well, it does have fruit, but they're not edible. And our pre-Islamic class to have some of the Hindu relics from Bali. It's relevant to our history as well.
Is that a macara? Is it a macara?
I don't know what a macara
Oh,
is.
like a hybrid animal.
I suppose so, yes. It's from
Bali.
Bali, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of Hindu traditions. So here we've got pinang, and these
that
trees
nutmeg?
are nutmegs.
Nutmeg, right?
You can see the fruit.
Yeah, wow.
These are gingers that it has a flower that's supposedly used for shampoo. That's a Pinanga malayana, again endemic to the peninsula. I don't think it has any specific use, but this is an ulam. This one here can be eaten. You can pick it and you can eat it, but it's not very tasty. It has no flavour. These are from the Philippines, an endemic species from the Philippines. Right. It's not a very good one.
Nutmeg.
Okay, the nutmeg fruit is like a peach, but the stone inside is the material of commerce.
Nutmeg ground into. I don't have powder.
I don't have heavy shoes. Anyone got oh, here we go. You can smell the nutmeg.
Very fragrant.
Oh,
Very fragrant.
let's try and break off a little bit for you.
Thank you. It smells great.
Nice brown smell. Ah, yes. This is not so good. The fruit this year is not brilliant because of the lack of rain, even though we do water. So they're quite small. This is usually bright red. This is the mace. When it's mature, this webbing becomes bright red. And that's another spice. It's called mace. And then the nutmeg is the seed in the center. We boil this flesh up for nutmeg cordial, which is quite good. Otherwise it just goes on the garden to rot down. Then seedlings come up and then we can give them away. But unfortunately we don't have any nutmeg trees to give away at the moment. If anybody wants plants, I have plenty. So if you have a garden where you've got space, just look at things, and if you think it's a suitable thing for your garden, I can either dig it out or find a seedling for you.
Anything that grows in pots?
Well, anything will grow in pots if you look after it. These grow in pots. A lot of plants in the Malaysian forests have particular ritual significance for the Malay or Orang Asli community. So this plant, can you just stand back a little bit so that other people can see? This plant is actually from Ambon in eastern Indonesia, but it's been but it's been carried by many people who migrate or move or trade throughout the region. And it's supposedly a magic plant. So when you have a wedding, for example, or when you do the ringgits, you take one of these leaves and roll it up, and this is the paintbrush. This is the brush for sprinkling the water in order to protect the bride and groom. So it's a protective plant, and they're quite easy to grow, although it does die back and it comes back again. But now we don't use these things for weddings. We've got silver chalices and silver things and fancy things, but there are so many plants in Malay tradition that are used for specific purposes, because if you live in a kampong, you need to have access to a wide variety of plants for everything you need. So there's a plant back here which is used for making brooms. Can you see this? So any medication, any illnesses you have, any issues with anything health-wise, the Malay community and the Orang Asli community have things that they can harvest from the forest or from their gardens in order to restore your health. So this tall one here is Tongkat Ali. That needs no explanation, I trust. Tongkat Ali is a male aphrodisiac. Something you don't know anything about yet.
Soon.
This is a very pretty thing when it flowers, but no matter how much we've watered it, it still hasn't flowered. It's taka, the bat flower. You see them in rubber estates. They have a white flower with lots of long tendrils falling down. Very pretty. These are trees, kapong trees.
These are trees.
Kapong. You move along there, I'll go inside. You stay here on the footpath. So if anyone has space, most come in a bit further so I don't have to shout in all directions. These are seedlings that we harvested the seeds during the pandemic. We had a major fruiting event, massed fruiting in the pandemic in the second year, and we harvested these. So these seedlings are now 3 years old, and they're kapong trees, Shorea ovalis, and it's an indication of place. When we first met, I was talking about sense of place and getting a feeling of what your own locality has. This is Sungai Plong, I have plong trees growing around an area I'll show you shortly. But this is kapong, from Kapong. And these are trees that were endemic or indigenous to Kapong. They probably grew elsewhere. And I've got hundreds of them. So if anybody has space for a tree, I would dearly love you to take one home.
Yes, please.
Also, this banana, I had a tree growing here which I've removed. Gardening is constantly reviewing, taking out, putting in something else, deciding that's not suitable and trying something again. This is a banana from Sabah. It's very attractive, has beautiful red flowers. If anybody, and it doesn't grow too big, that's how big it grows. So if anybody wants an ana, I can dig one up for you later, not right now, but later. And you will put it in a plastic bag and you can take it home. Because all of these, I can't keep them all. So there are plants for spare, that's for sure. This tree is Meninjau, Empeng. So for this you need a male tree and a female tree. So that tree is the male, this is the female that has the fruit. So Empeng, you would know, is that bitter propok, vegetarian propok. It's very nice fried and salted. I don't do my own because it's too labor intensive and it takes hours to do, weeks to do. So, but we do have quite a few trees that, well, they have some use. Continue on in that direction. This is a thing called kacip Fatima, which is used a lot in the Indonesian. What's the drink that the Indonesians make that the women carry round on their backs and in bottles and sit down and give a tonic? Jamu. Jamu. This is a prime ingredient for jamu. So I've not used it, but I don't know what it tastes like. This is another ginger, different form. In the tropics, we don't have big displays of flowers. The flowers are subtle and concealed. So here, for this ginger, you'll get a flower down here. There's the flower, it's just fallen off. And they're likely to be white. Because we don't, in the tropics, the plants don't need to advertise their presence with a big red flower, like a rose, because you can't see it for any distance. Unless it's in the canopy for butterflies and moths, then they can see it from one valley to the other side. But generally our flowers are insignificant, but they are fragrant.
Very nice.
And that is what makes the difference. That's what attracts the pollinating insect. The fragrance, the perfume, and sometimes you even get a coincidence of timing. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, you smell this fragrance. Oh, hantu. No, it is not hantu. Believe you me, it is not hantu. It is plants that will flower at the time that the pollinating insect is active. So if you've got a moth that comes out at 4 o'clock in the morning, the plant sends out its fragrance. Other times you smell it, there's no fragrance. But this is another ginger, and this is very useful for ground cover if you've got a lot of space. It just takes over. The flowers are here. Ginger. Okay, that's the flower there. And this is a typical ginger. There are many forms of ginger, and I think you can smell the fragrance from there. It's a beautiful fragrance, and that's the roots and the branches. It's a lovely plant to have. That's a bit of rotting compost. And these are the buds of the new flowers coming up here. and new roots coming. So it's a very good ground cover. It does well in shade or in full sun. So if anybody wants this, they are welcome to it. Here we have 3 plants. Would you like that?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, she wants one.
And anybody else want, I can come out here later and we can,
Come out later.
I'll get the name for you. If you leave me your number, I'll send you the name of the plant. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, smells like
No, it's not edible as far as we know. It's a new species that's been found by Datuk Sri Lim Chong Kiat in Penang. And he has cultivated it. I got it from him. It's a new species. So don't worry. It's not edible. And this is a fallacy in Malaysia. Everybody asks, can eat or not? Not always, no. You can
Our
eat
first
some
question.
things, but you can't eat everything. Now, someone wanted to see a rambutan tree. There are 2 rambutan trees there. Also severely affected by drought and dropping their leaves. This is a ginger as well. It has quite a colourful flower, but it comes up on the ground. So this is that's the flower of this. So the flower comes out on a separate stem. It's not obvious. You have to look for it. But it's quite pretty. That's just opening now, and quite often there's another one coming there. But you don't get many of them, just 1 or 2 each day, and then the ants get it. Don't stand on the, can you not stand on the bed? Off the bed, thank you. This is planted with a Selaginella, which is a fern ally, and it's, if you've done any walking in rubber estates, you might have seen a blue peacock coloured fern. That's this. I'm hoping it will grow. So the reflected light is very bluish, but this is still young, so it doesn't really have the effect. But the leaf is sort of like a peacock. So I'm trying to cover this whole area. But when we pruned this tree, everything got wrecked and squashed. So try not to walk on the garden.
Okay.
Stick to the pathway. And mind, this is a bit uneven and there are things to poke your eye. This is Tesidang or Krat Nasi, which has a white flower, again not flowering now, which smells exactly like pandan. And it's a lovely Tesidang, exactly right. Not the leaf though, only the flower.
My grandmother used to use the flowers as perfume. She put it inside her brazier.
Yeah.
During the old days. My grandma.
And it was also used for making the bunga rampai.
Yeah. So she smelled nice for the whole day. My grandmother.
There are other things too, like coming up in a minute. This is a ginger too. You can. That's quite fragrant, although it's not as good. It's
That's a
half as
snail.
best. There's one flower here.
Oh, cantiknya ginger dia.
Got snail, see? Tengok. Oh, snail.
Oh, the smell.
These 2 palms were put in about 5 years ago. They were 2 feet tall, and now 5 years they can grow. This is the growth scar of 1 leaf. So the Malay name is Panawa, which is antidote. And it's a tree that has been traded across Southeast Asia from the Melanesian islands where it's endemic, all across Southeast Asia. I got my seeds from a previous generation from Sumatra. So it's used as a stomach treatment, the seed, the fruit, which is here. The monkeys and the tupai are eating this now because they're so hungry. There's very little fruit, there's very little to eat in the garden because it's so dry. But if anybody wants a seed, you can pick them up from here. And if you want a panawa, this will also protect your house from bad spirits. Asam Jawa. Right, can you yes, please. Thank you. Pull it down, strip the leaves, like so. And no, you eat. This is not as young as it could be because of the dry season. But take a leaf and bite it. Chew it. Chew it. This can be used as ulam. Asam Jawa, of course, is used for a bit of sourish taste.
It's me. It's you.
It's sourish, just like Asam Jawa in the
Bite.
So the sour taste is distributed right through the plant. Can we get some more leaves, the younger ones if possible? Yes, track those on. Is anybody very tall? You can, yeah, right. You. Okay. It's used as ulam. The young leaves. This that should germinate. Just bury it in a pot and it'll grow. What else? Sorry. This is down kasum. Help yourself. Take a piece of down kasum, smell it, taste it if you like.
This one.
Bunga kantan. Again, very dry, no flower.
Very nice.
For
laksa.
Yummy.
But very difficult to grow on,
Oh, is it? Smells delicious. Really nice, this one. For laksa. It's for laksa.
curry leaf.
Curry leaf. Hans. See this one? Curry leaf. Curry.
Sorry, I can't pick enough for everyone, but this is kananga, which is supposedly an ingredient to Chanel No. 5. It's a very weird smell. Sorry?
Thank you.
Oh, that, I can never remember the name of that. Pass the flower around if you can.
What's that?
What's
that?
Ingredient for?
This plant, I don't
Oh.
You don't put the perfume in the, you just use the flower. What else have we got here? I don't know what that is. It's a thing from Eastern
smell?
Indonesia.
Sure.
Misai kucing,
Kenanga.
diuretic. This rather poor.
Very nice.
It was covered in pandan. And I remembered, but there's a better one there. Lima perut. This is a different type of kunyit. Kunyit temu hitam, because it has a black line down the center.
Anybody want to smell Chanel No. 5? The same is called Makota Dewa. Makota Dewa. It's a bitter.
Makota Dewa. Makota Dewa.
It's very bitter.
Dewi.
Dewa.
Dewa. Okay, yes, that's the local name. Makota Dewa. It's from Indonesia. How did you know that?
One
One of the guys knew? Yeah. Okay, good. Move around. This is a chinke tree, which is clove. It's not doing too well, so I won't pick off leaves. It's struggling with the difference. I water this, but it's still struggling. This is a Dilenia. Like common thing throughout Southeast Asia. And this is the seed. The ones that are on the tree are the buds, the flower buds. This is from Dilenia philippinensis. And in the Philippines, they use this like we use asam. But it's quite sour, but it's really delicious.
Elephant apple, is it?
Sorry?
Elephant apple.
Yeah.
That's another species from the same genus, but a different species. Yeah, the yellow flower on the roadside, Dilenia saffreticosa.
Oh, they have
But
red
this-
strands.
If you
So
eat,
many layers.
oh well, there are many.
Can eat or not?
Can.
My first
I'm-
question.
I'm happy to say. Yeah.
I'm being Malaysian. So this is the first question.
It's and the Filipinos use it
Wow.
for cooking. So you don't need the filaments.
Try. This is the Chanel number 5
Well, you
one.
can, I suppose,
Can-
but generally.
Kenanga.
Anybody else interested in tasting?
Wow, the man is looking.
Eat it. Eat it.
Oh, okay.
Not for smelling. For eating. This one can eat.
Kenanga. That's Kenanga. Huh, that one. That one is not for eating. Do you eat the Kenanga? Oh no, that you didn't eat the Kenanga. I thought you ate. No, cannot. That's for perfume. Put in your pocket. The whole day.
I'll do another one. Can I find another fruit?
We must always ask can eat or not. Because we are Malaysian. Ants?
Yes, that's Belimbing Bulu.
Kalumba Jawa.
I got that down there.
Young leaf substitute for coriander. Many medicinal use in Americas. Diuretic, febrifuge, mild stimulant, laxative, decoction of whole plant, lowers blood pressure, and as an aphrodisiac.
Anybody who has some taste?
This is from this one.
Yes. That's good one. Anybody want to taste? Sorry, no. Those are moderately clean. I'm getting very close. Not Belimbing Bulu. It's
It's such a pretty flower.
yes,
Very nice flower.
Philippinensis.
Oh. Dileniaceae simple from the Philippines. Delicious. Fruit is sour.
Join us. So what else have we got? We've got a limau tree, a Persian lilac. I don't know why that's there. Various bananas. That is the Malayan gooseberry, which is used for making achar. And Serai wangi behind you. Serai wangi is citronella, and it's used for insect repellent in Australia anyway, and here too. Okay, anybody got any questions? Sorry? Asoka.
Patosa.
Oh, this one, yes. I forgot to tell you about this one. This one, This is a member of the foxglove family, which is very toxic. And it's poisonous. But this is a local species, which is called Kacubong is the Malay name. I've forgotten the botanical name. But the seed is used by the Bomos, or used to be used by the Bomos, to pound, put in tea. When you go for your spa, they give you tea or not. Yes, you have sit and have drink and relax. So the Bomo also did the same thing. You go to the Bomo to consult about your health or your family or whatever, and he would give you a cup of tea, and inside is the seed pounded of this species. It is a hallucinogenic. So you have your tea and you sit and chat to the Bomo, and then you go home and think, wow, that guy knew everything about me. How did he know all of that? So instant success and more customers, that's important.
Looks like a durian.
That's a kuchai.
Looks like a durian.
This is undergoing a transformation. We've got black pepper growing there, and this is black pepper. This is hibiscus mutabilis. Has anyone ever
Unique
grown
looking.
hibiscus mutabilis? The white colour become red. So the flower is quite beautiful. Pepper.
Where you get the species in China?
No, I stole it from the roadside in Klang. I saw it and I thought, oh, I want it.
The Allen's, Allen come here. Allen's farm also got 3 plants.
Yeah, well, I've got one more in a pot coming. This is inai henna, which is used for making dye for weddings and whatever.
The nine.
This is also used for making a blue dye. Not doing too well because it's not enough water. But this is common in making blue vegetable dyes for flavouring or colouring the food blue. Very easy to grow, but it needs more water.
Do the artists
And this is the tree for making your brooms. So you tie all the seed stalks together and then you sweep the floor. You have to bang out all the seeds first. But everything in kampong life came from the plants and animals around the kampong. You did not have the village shop. You did not have Kedai Runcit. You did not have anything.
No Shopee.
No shopping. Exactly.
No shopping, got Shopee.
No shopping, got Shopee. Hi, welcome.
Thank you, sorry we're late.
That's okay. We're just about, we've done the garden, we're about to do the kampong houses.
Okay, yeah. Take over that.
Yes, you're free to wander wherever you want. Stand in the shade, principally. Okay, Bill, good. How are we doing for time? Oh no!